NTA International News.
President Buhari returns to the country, promises to rededicate himself to the service of the nation and humanity as more groups pray for his health. APC Deputy National Chairman declares support for any electoral reform aimed at improving the nation's democracy. And Nigeria gains admission into the International Energy Charter to strengthen high energy cooperation globally. It's good to have you join us on the news on NTA International. I am Shegun Lawale. President Muhammadu Buhari has promised to rededicate himself to the service of the nation selflessly, to the best of his ability and in the interest of all. He said this is the best way to appreciate the fervent prayers, enormous goodwill and support he continues to enjoy from Nigerians. The president stated this while addressing senior government officials who converged on the seat of government to formally welcome him back from medical vacation in London. State House correspondent Adam Sambo reports.
The chopper that brought President Muhammadu Buhari from Kaduna, where he first arrived from London, touched down at the presidential heliport in the State House at about 8:50 Friday morning. On hand to receive the Nigerian leader after a 50-day vacation were Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, Governor Abdulaziz Yari Abubakar of Zamfara State, FCT Minister Muhammad Musa Bello, service chiefs, and the Inspector General of Police and other senior government officials. Others who could not make it to the heliport waited anxiously in one of the conference rooms in the State House to formally welcome the president and reaffirm their loyalty to his administration. President Buhari used the opportunity to express formal appreciation to Nigerians for their prayers and assured them that he is now feeling much better to perform his responsibilities.
I am deeply grateful to all Nigerians, Muslims and the Christians who have prayed and are continuing to pray for my good health. This is a testimony that in spite of the hardship being experienced, Nigerians support the government in its effort to tackle our country's challenges. The best way for me to repay you all is to rededicate myself to serving you, protecting your interests and keeping your trust. I thank you very much. May I appeal to all Nigerians to continue to pray for our country's unity, progress, and prosperity. And may God bless our country.
Vice President Yemi Osinbajo was full of appreciation to the president for not only the trust and confidence reposed in him, but also in demonstrating a strong belief in the nation's constitution.
Not only am I, but I'm sure this entire nation is grateful to you because you have upheld our constitution in a noble and graceful fashion. For me, I must say, sir, that it has been an interesting period of going around in borrowed robes. And a more interesting fact is that because the robes are longer than my own, naturally, I had a very interesting and challenging time. But I must say that, Mr. President, you gave me so much support, and I very, very strongly believe that your leadership is important to this nation. It's important not only as a symbol of integrity, but it's also important as a symbol of where we want to go as a country. Where we want to go as a country is in the direction of change, which you pioneered in 2015 when we came. And we believe, God, very strongly that that will be the case.
Governor Abdulaziz Yari Abubakar of Zamfara State, Information Minister Lai Mohammed, and the Chief of Defense Staff, General Abayomi Olonishakin, described as heartwarming the President's return in sound health, and on behalf of their constituencies, reaffirmed their continued support, loyalty, and cooperation.
I want to take the opportunity to thank all Nigerians for their support, for their sympathy, for their show of solidarity, for the prayers they offered you, and also to express my appreciation to all our colleagues who, despite all the pressure, despite all the taunts, remained focused and carried on as if you were around.
We continue to plead our
unalloyed loyalty to you and say that we continue to maintain our stand to ensure that we'll provide the necessary security and safety environment for the government and the people of the country, so that that which you so desire for this country can be properly achieved.
On behalf of 36 governors of the Federation, Mr. President, we welcome you back. And as usual, we'll continue to remain steadfast to praying for you to have a strength to take this responsibility shouldered on you by Almighty God.
President Muhammadu Buhari left Nigeria on vacation to London on the 19th of January this year. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the wife of the president, Aisha Muhammadu Buhari, has received the president on his arrival at the State House, full of happiness and gratitude to God for his safe return amidst family members and close associates. State House correspondent Ali Kabir reports.
Accompanied by the wife of the Vice President, Dolapo Shinbajo, her family members, the governor's wives, her aides and close associates, the wife of the president expressed happiness for the safe return of her husband. She also expressed her gratitude for the prayers by Nigerians for the president and the country in general. The head of service of the Federation, Winifred Oyoita, alongside Senior Special Assistant to the wife of the president, Dr. Hajosani, and others, urged Nigerians to sustain the tempo in prayers for the president and for the peace and development of Nigeria.
I want to use this opportunity to thank Nigerians for being so hopeful, being prayerful, and not allowing all the sentiments and issues to disturb our focus. We are really very happy. We pray that the way God has sustained him and brought him back in perfect good health, he will continue to see him through. God brought him to this seat for a purpose, and I know God will see that that purpose is fulfilled.
Everyone in Nigeria will be happy in the sense that we have seen him physically, and he has come, he greeted all of us, so all we have to do now is thank God and continue with our prayers. May God give not only him, all of us, good health, and continue to give him the determination to be able to continue with the good work he started in this country.
We all wish him the best. Prayers have really worked together. We wish him the best to rule this country.
We are wishing him God's guidance, protection, and peace in the country. Baba is back, here and healthy, very happy, jovial as usual.
This president is loved by his people. Nigerians have shown concern, prayers, and I'm quite happy with the kind of support he gets from the ordinary Nigerians and people.
Amidst his family, the president could not hide his happiness. From the State House, Ali Kabir, NTA News.
And in a similar development, the All Progressives Congress APC has welcomed President Muhammadu Buhari back to the country after his medical vacation in the United Kingdom. A statement from the National Publicity Secretary, Malam Bolaji Abdullahi, says the party believes that President Buhari is now well rested and has returned with new vigor and optimism to fix the challenges facing Nigerians and fulfill the promises the APC made during the 2015 elections. The party thanked the president for following due process and properly handing over to his deputy, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, and thereby saving the country the needless controversies and crises that was experienced in the past. The party also commends the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, for competently holding forth on behalf of the president and for his loyalty and commitment to change agenda of the APC. Speaker House of Representatives Yakubu Dogara has expressed faith that God will restore President Muhammadu Buhari's full health to enable him continue with the good works he started for Nigeria. He said this when he received a group of northern Christian women who prayed for the president. National Assembly correspondent Ignatius Nkwo reports.
After the prayer, Speaker Yakubu Dogara advised the women to live in fulfillment of the teachings of Jesus Christ. He identified love and peace as basic features of godliness, which must be extended across religion.
So we won't be doing well if you restrict your work among just Christians. You have to reach out in fulfillment of this command to people of other faith who are your neighbors.
The women commended President Buhari for defeating Boko Haram and restoring peace to the northeast.
We are indeed grateful to the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, our father, Muhammad Buhari GC for his efforts so far in fighting corruption and combating the menace of the insurgency in Nigeria.
They also wished the Vice President a happy birthday. The visitors also commended Speaker Yakubu Dogara for his commitment in alleviating the sufferings of internally displaced persons. From the National Assembly, Ignatius Nkwo, NTA News.
Moving on to the matters, the All Progressives Congress APC says it is in support of any electoral reform that will improve the nation's democracy. The party's Deputy National Chairman North, Raji Lawal Shuaibu, stated this at the meeting of the Inter-Party Advisory Council held in Abuja. Political correspondent Abdullahi Garba Benekudu reports.
It was the first General Assembly of IPAC in 2017. Issues of strengthening political parties, collaboration with INEC, and party supremacy topped the agenda. The IPAC National Chairman Muhammad Lawal Naladu, an APC representative, emphasized on the need for the amendment of Electoral Act 2010 before the next general elections.
We are worried about increasing leadership disagreement in some political parties. We urge leaders of affected political parties to embrace dialogue and political solution to resolve their differences.
Political parties are the critical stakeholders in discussing Electoral Act. Our interest is all the sections of the Electoral Act, not one particular section, all. Because we have had an experience now in 2015 elections, and we want to bring our experience to bear on the current review of the Electoral Act.
The General Assembly also kicked against the removal of the National Chairman of Labour Party, saying due process was not followed. The Inter-Party Advisory Council is the umbrella body of all the registered political parties in Nigeria. In Abuja, Abdullahi Garba Benekudu, NTA News.
Nigeria has been officially admitted into the International Energy Charter to enable Nigeria to strengthen our energy cooperation at the global stage. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, in his message, enjoined the Energy Commission of Nigeria to explore all opportunities to increase energy mix.
Getting admission into the International Energy Charter offers member states openings to attract investment opportunities in the energy sector, as well as better global standing. For the federal government of Nigeria, this membership will guide the operations in the energy sector, especially in expanding its sourcing.
It is our strong intention as a nation to utilize the principles of this charter to improve our energy systems by using modern and evolving technologies. This main activity of the National Energy Summit is to form an activity between the government of Nigeria and International Energy Charter that will include the development of a template for monitoring the performance of the Nigerian energy sector.
For the Secretary General of the International Energy Charter, Urban Rosnak, Nigeria's coming into the charter will boost activities of the Union, as the enormous energy resources in Nigeria will be open to global competition.
Mr. Chairman, it's not going to be binding. Instead, it's the political declaration to reinforce commitment to create a friendly investment climate.
This charter, which came into existence in 1991, has given a sense of direction to the energy market at the global level. Mie Ogidi, NTA.
You're watching NTA International News from Abuja, Nigeria's capital. We're taking a break at this time. To return in just a moment. Stay with us.
Have you been thinking about coming to Nigeria? Then what are you waiting for? Come share in our wealth of vast resources. Come discover treasure. Come to where there's lots of business opportunities. Come to Nigeria. Nigeria, my nation, my pride.
NTA International News. Africa as it is.
President Muhammadu Buhari has extended his heartfelt condolences to the Umodia family, as well as the government and people of Edo State, on the death of Dr. Samuel Umodia. In a statement by presidential spokesman Femi Adesina, President Buhari joins them and other admirers in mourning the elder statesman who diligently served the country with courage and dedication at crucial moments in our history, both as military governor and a democratically elected civilian governor. The president believes that the late Umodia, who has a distinguished career in the military, has left an impressive legacy of hard work, discipline, and commitment to communal, state, and regional and national development. He recalls the unique role of the elder statesman in the nation's return to civilian rule in 1999 and trusts that as a tireless advocate for equity, he will be long remembered and honored for his dedication to the advancement of his people, especially in the fields of education, social welfare, and infrastructure. The increasing challenges in the nation's university education can only be addressed with the support of all stakeholders. National Chairman of the Conference of Alumni Association of Nigerian Universities, Dr. Ahmed Tijani Mora, said this during a courtesy call to the management of the Nigerian Television Authority in Abuja. Ado Adamu reports.
Ahmed Tijani Mora, who led the national executive members of the Conference of Alumni Association of Nigerian Universities on the visit, said they are intensifying effort to mobilize support to meet the increasing challenges in Nigerian universities. While describing the challenges as enormous, Dr. Ahmed said all key players need to come together and intervene in critical areas.
It's an attempt to improve the quality of education at university levels. And that can only be achieved through resource mobilization. Because without the resources to advance education at that level, we are nowhere.
Director General, Nigerian Television Authority, Yakubu Ibn Muhammad, represented by the Executive Director of Finance and Administration, Philip Ofiebu, commended the association for taking the lead in supporting universities in the country. He pledged NTA's readiness in supporting the association, describing the challenges in the universities as disturbing.
In NTA, we are always ready to ensure we do this. We let people know about what great organizations like yours are doing, because it has to do with the corporate social responsibility of NTA too.
The visit is part of the association's activities lined up for its first quarter National Executive Council meeting. In Abuja, Ado Adamu also, NTA News.
Ado Adamu also there. The Senior Staff Association of Statutory Corporations and Government-Owned Companies has appealed to the Ministry of Power, Works and Housing to include Federal Housing Authority in the national housing programs of the present administration. The union says that the inclusion will enable FHA to meet its special housing targets for low-income earners. Labor correspondent Emmanuel Aimiro reports.
With about 16 million housing units, the union says with the current efforts of the federal government through a number of housing initiatives, the deficit can be further reduced if the federal housing authorities provided with yearly federal budgets and not self-funding.
We are aware that apart from the seed money that was given to this agency at inception, Federal Housing Authority has never been on federal government budget for so many years.
Guarimpa is meant for workers, but you can imagine how many workers now can afford Guarimpa. Do you see what we are saying? And this facility that was given was a loan, a facility from the federal government to construct houses for workers. And now the workers, because FHA was not funded, they have to be recycling this money.
While the union is requesting for professionals to be allowed to execute housing programs, the need for public-private partnership was also emphasized, both with consideration for the FHA. The Senior Staff Association of Statutory Corporations and Government-Owned Companies and affiliates of Trade Union Congress pleads for consideration over their concern. In Abuja, Emmanuel Ayemiro, NTA News.
In our business news, World Bank mobilizes $1.6 billion for Nigeria, Yemen, and Sudan to tackle hunger. Details of these and more with Olayinka Ojo on Business News.
Welcome to Business News. The World Bank says it is working towards a financial package of more than $1.6 billion to build social protection system as well as fight the devastating level of food insecurity in sub-Saharan Africa and Yemen. Its president, Jim Yong Kim, said this in Washington, D.C., where he stated that famine is sustained on our collective conscience as millions of lives are at risk and more will be if nothing is done quickly and decisively. The World Bank also added that their first priority is to work with partners to make sure families have access to food and water. And in Zimbabwe, the finance minister says economy is expected to grow 3.7% this year from an initial projection of 1.7%. The Southern African nation's economy stagnated last year following a devastating drought, while its budget deficit exploded as President Robert Mugabe's administration struggled to pay its workers, which allegedly helped fund anti-government protests. To money markets, a check on how the equities market fared this Friday. And that's it on the business segment of the news. I am Olayinka Ojo. The news continues.
Over now to Uche Nwezo for some stories on the global scene.
Prime Minister Shinzo Abe said Japan's self-defense force will withdraw from the United Nations peacekeeping mission in South Sudan when its troops there return home in May. The primary mission of the Japanese contingent for the past 5 years has been to build infrastructure in the war-torn country. Reports from South Korea say President Park has become the country's first democratically elected leader to be forced out of office. Judges unanimously upheld Parliament's decision to impeach Park over her role in a corruption scandal involving her close friend. An election is expected within 60 days. Meanwhile, the ruling sparked protests outside the courts. From the U.S. comes a report that the Department of Justice is deploying 50 judges to immigration detention centers to clear a backlog of thousands of cases. The judges are expected to boost President Trump's push to toughen enforcement of the law on illegal immigration. Uche Nwezo, NTA News.
In our sports, 2017 Veterans Golf Kitty Tournament ends in Abuja as Royal Race Walk sets to debut in May. Ayodeji Makinde tells us more on Sports Update.
Handicap 26 player Hassan Mundu scored 89 goals to emerge winner of the 2017 Veterans Skiti Golf at the IBB International Golf and Country Club, Abuja, Thursday. Ekanem Ekweme won the women's category with a gross of 94 in the Kitty tournament, designed to keep the veteran players physically and mentally fit.
It's an all-body aerobics exercise.
They are so happy and appreciative of this gesture from the ladies section.
The Royal Race Walk is set to make its debut in Lagos come May 27th as part of efforts to promote the sport in the country. Organizers say the 20-kilometer walk is open to athletes from 18 years and above who will be nurtured for future.
Let's now have a quick check on Saturday's World Outlook in Nigeria and some world cities. And with the weather updates, we conclude the news. Thanks for watching. I'm Shegun Lawale.